ready.
Man, that is going to be a slobber knocker of a game right there.
In all my time, I don't remember somebody scoring 4.
Yeah, if I use a word, jetapult. It's actually a word. People don't realize it.
Right.
Good try. No soup for you.
Trey, go get you some wax beans and
Come back, soup for the deli, I know.
yeah, go get you some wax beans and
Hey,
have
Trey,
a good day, man.
thanks for coming.
First downs for Central Clay for 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. Roll call with a spidget.
Roll call. A spidget.
Spidget.
A spidget.
A spidget.
Wally.
Blue spandex, man.
That's what did John say about that song when y'all played it on Sports Line?
I don't remember, but it was not complimentary.
I had to do that one, man.
John had a fit over that one.
Yeah, that was
Killer plays.
Killer plays that I don't think John likes.
Welcome to the March the 15th edition of the Sports Chat with Neal and Wally. And Wally, let's welcome our guest this evening. He's the voice of the Trojans, co-host of the #1 radio show in Southeast Alabama, Sports Line with Longshore and McKnight on AM 740, Mr. Barry McKnight. Barry, you got to give us a elbow pump right
There
there.
you go. There you go.
Hey, even Mr. Potato Head has.
Yeah, he's got the hand up, but I'm
Hey,
not
David,
touching
give a
it.
close up to Mr. Potato Head there.
Got the
There he is.
Potato Head's got on the surgical
mask.
And we got a lot of also a lot of hand sanitizer here tonight, just in case anything gets out of hand. But that's all right. But
Yeah, there's picture Barry right there.
there's Barry right there. Look at that. What
That's
year,
a long time ago.
What year was that?
That is 2003. That's my first year. You know, I came in as the voice of Troy in 2002.
Yep.
This is 2003 during baseball season in Auburn. You know, in the background, you'll see Johnny Williams. You'll see Mike Amos back there. That was way early in my Troy career.
How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
2000.
Man, first of all, I just want to thank you for taking an hour out of your crazy schedule and everybody's crazy schedule just to agree to be here with us tonight. And man, I'm telling you, this is huge for me and Wally.
You better believe it,
This is
buddy.
huge for me and Wally
Well-
now. You and Longshore are the staples of the sports show arena, and Wally and I have been long listeners, long time listeners of Sportsline with Longshore and McKnight on AM 740, and we think what y'all do sets the precedence for all media sports shows.
Well, we've been really blessed, and I appreciate you saying that. We have been together. I'll never forget the first day, March 19th, 1997. We were thrown together. That day that we were first on the air was the day we first met each other, and it's just kind of flowed. It's been almost 23 years. As of next week that we have been together in Montgomery. So fortunate to have the listenership that we have and the support from the sponsors and everything. Like I
Barry,
said,
who had the vision? See, y'all didn't know each other.
we had our general manager at the time was a lady named Christy Patrick, and they needed somebody with who had an Auburn background,
Yep.
and I, of course, covered Auburn before I came to Troy, and so they asked Mike Hubbard for a recommendation, and he recommended me, and I came over, and like I said, the first day, you know, we met each other and kind of, you know, sounded each other out, and it's been going on. I never would have thought it would have lasted 3 years, much less 23 years. But it's been a blessing for us, and I appreciate you guys saying that.
Oh man, you know, Neal and I, when we drive to Montgomery every day, listen to you guys, and we said, man, we need to do something like that for TV one day.
Well-
because we're not radio people for sure.
Well,
so.
you know, it's kind of an American sort of success story. They always told me you work hard as you can with a little bit of ethics to you and a little bit of a thing, and you know, sooner or later it'll pay off, and here I am. Right here.
You made it all the way.
I have reached the pinnacle. Right
You made
here.
it to Sports Chat with Neal and Wally.
There you
See,
go.
hard
I
work.
wanted, tried work, and you know, kept my nose to the grindstone, kept out of trouble, and here I am. So.
Right. You made it. Call mom. Tell
That's
her.
exactly. Oh, she's watching.
She's watching.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
All
There
right.
you go.
Well, speaking of Sportsline with Longshore and McKnight, is this a good time right now to reveal who the caller on your show, the Fred the Dorfman, is?
Well, he's taken the show by storm, and I remember the first time we had Fred the Dorfman call, and you know, the first call, I thought, you know, sophisticated, intelligent,
Yeah.
polished,
Right.
cultured, and of course, everybody around here, your mind immediately goes to Wally Lowry. So, you know, and
He
I
didn't pull the
thought,
wool over nobody in Troy.
well, it took me a while to figure it out, but you know, all of a sudden, Wally, he started
Winning
asking
news,
me.
hey, I was-
Yeah, he started asking me, what I thought of Fred the Dorfman's call, and I thought,
You start
that's okay. Here we go. So
Yeah.
it's added a great deal of culture to the program. It's
Yes,
increased our
yes.
listenership
Yes.
amongst the
Yeah.
sophisticated
Right,
set. So
right, yeah.
we really appreciate that.
Well, actually, I used to be Sack of Suds. That's what I used to call, but I don't think Killer lets me on anymore.
You don't know the second son's call in anymore. He had to change the Dorfman to get in.
It's been good though. It's been
Hey,
good.
but I won 3 times, Neil.
I know.
The pick 3, and that's tough.
That's exactly right. He's eaten more barbecue than anybody else over the last couple of years.
I got tickled at John
And not
talking
just
about
on the show,
The
either.
barbecue. He said, the guy never thought he was going to give out that much barbecue.
That's exactly right.
Oh, that's funny.
He
man.
spent more time at the radio station picking it up than I have. So.
Oh, that's great, man. Well, hey, I hope y'all had a good weekend. Finally, some dry spring-like weather after all that rain. And I personally got a lot of yard work done yesterday. And man, I got to ride my Bronco, and that just means the world to me. And Wally, I hope you weren't watching the Players Championship on television, because that was a rerun.
That's what
Tommy,
somebody told me.
I got to watch it, and I said, "No, Wally thinks Tommy Fleetwood's doing good in this tournament."
Yeah.
He's my favorite golfer. I love Fleet. David, why does he put the ugliest picture of
There
him?
he is, right there. Look at that mullet.
He just doesn't care. I mean, you've got to have somebody like
They're
that.
not
on
going
the
to let him in
tour.
the Masters like that. He's going to have to cut his hair.
No, they
But
won't.
I thought, boy, Wally thinks mullet's doing good. It was a rerun from last year. So anyway, but
But I went fishing today, Neil.
you did.
I did. Hey, David, I know you got some photos there.
Look at that.
That's me and my brother and my nephew and Phil. We caught so much crappie today. Good
Good
gracious.
gravy,
We
man.
were. And then look at the Chris caught a 9-pound bass.
Wow.
So we were tearing them
Were
up.
y'all fishing or catching?
We fished.
I'm definitely a fisher. We're going next weekend down at Lake Eufaula. I
Oh,
all of a
yeah.
sudden have
Great.
weekends free, fellas.
Heck yeah.
So
Well, Wally, you
And
Yeah,
Ty,
I'm
now let me
getting
tell you, Tyler, which played at Kansas State.
Yeah.
Tyler, that's what we did today. Your daddy was talking to him, says, "I got Wally in the boat." Tyler wanted to be there so bad.
It
but,
was killing him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was killing him. But he's watching the show.
Is he still
tonight.
out in Manhattan?
Yeah, he watches the show every
I know he
Sunday.
does. I know he does. Barry, what'd you do yesterday and today?
I did
Enjoy
some
the-
yard work.
Yard work?
It's odd because I was supposed to be in Statesboro, Georgia this
Oh, yeah,
weekend
you had no
doing
plans.
baseball. That was surreal. And now, my next scheduled broadcast for Troy is September 5th. That's it. So,
You got a little break here.
it's
don't you?
odd because I'm sitting there thinking, what do people do on spring weekends?
I know.
Yeah, the general population usually has weekends off. Well, what do people do? I mowed my grass.
You need to take Denise to the beach.
Yeah, well, we're going to go.
Okay.
We're going to go to the lake next week.
I'm trying to help you out, Denise.
Yeah,
Get
and
you a beach
Hey,
trip.
well, you can help your neighbor Mark rearrange all of his Star Wars stuff. I don't know if you ever seen his Star Wars
I
stuff.
have heard about it.
You can help him since he won't even let me near his house to see his stuff.
That's
So.
because you stole a figurine. When we were
No,
young.
he says I broke it. I don't remember that. We were in 6th grade. He says I broke Darth Vader or something.
Well, as we get started here, let's now, guys, I want to recognize the ATO fraternity, Wally.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
man.
that is they raising money for the Wounded Warrior Foundation, and those guys walked from Troy, Alabama, to Panama City Beach, Florida, and there they are finishing at Pier Park in Panama City. It took them 4 or 5 days, and churches all along the route fed them and let them sleep in certain places, in churches and welcome centers and all. And it's really, man, it's such a great philanthropy for ATO and a couple of Troy guys on there too, and Logan Wilson and Charles Henderson graduate, and Tyler Hussey, my neighbor, a Pike Leo graduate, was walking this year, and just to be able to raise money through such a philanthropy, man, for the Wounded Warriors, I just wanted to pat ATO on the back a little bit right there. That's really awesome.
I may do it next year, Neil. I think I can walk it.
Wow, that's 128 miles.
I skied before. I can do it.
Snow ski?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They've done that every year since 2009. So I'd say it's sticking. That's the 11th year in a row they've done that, and man, that's just something special.
That is
Right
special.
there. And speaking of Raymond's Barbershop, I was getting my hair cut at Raymond's when they walked by Raymond's Barbershop on the way out of town. That was just an interesting tidbit right there. I saw them when they were leaving, and Barry?
I remember the first time when they did that. And I thought, what a wonderful idea, what a great outreach, what a great commitment and everything. And I thought it was just, at that point, just a one-time only deal, just to prove that they can do it and to prove, how much the outreach meant to them.
Right.
But for 11 straight years,
And it's grown. The donations
no
have grown.
question,
Yeah.
no question. Much pride in those gentlemen.
Absolutely, and the Greek system at Troy is next to none around the state of Alabama. I mean, it's just really incredible. Barry, Wally and I, we've been talking a lot on the last few shows about the level of basketball in Pike County, Alabama this season, and I wanted to ask you your thoughts on the basketball being played in Pike County. Now, remember, Barry, Charles
Right.
Henderson won the 5A state championship girls. Pike County boys won the 3A state championship boys. The Pike Lib girls made it to the Final Four of the AISA girls.
Right.
The Pike Liberal boys played for the state championship of the 3A AISA state championship, and they were ahead in the second half.
That's
so they, I
right.
mean, they possibly could have won that. Wally and I announced it live on Troy Cable, and also the Troy University girls had their record-breaking season and the regular season Sun Belt champions. Now that's some good old basketball right here. What are your thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
within a 10, 15-mile radius, there's
Exactly.
championship basketball. I think it speaks to a couple of things. Number one, obviously the talent in this area, and it doesn't just start. They don't just, come out one day over at Pike Lib, over at Charles Henderson, and say, hey, what's this basketball all about? It's been nurtured. I still think, and I've been around a lot.
Yep.
I still think that the Parks and Recreation Department here, the youth sports here, is second to none of a town this size. I am amazed.
Dan Smith
at,
does an incredible
oh my
job.
gosh, and it all really starts with all of that. These kids get quality instruction from the time they're basically just starting school. So it's nurtured, it's developed, and all that, and having quality instruction at Pike Lib, at Charles Henderson, at Troy University certainly helps. But it's really good basketball. It's really, really heartening to see the success that they've had because, I see them out there working. I know a lot of the coaches. And this year, it's hard to imagine that they can keep up that level of success, that level of accomplishment.
gonna be tough.
But you watch them. I bet
You
that
think they will?
I think so.
I tell you
think
what,
so.
it's something else. And one of Charles Henderson's girls, Samara Moore, is signed with Troy.
That's
So
exactly
she'll be
right.
staying local. Good. Speaking of state championship basketball, let's remind everybody that the Charles Henderson 5A girls state championship,
Wednesday.
they've yet to celebrate.
It's going to be
They're
Wednesday. I think.
Wednesday the 18th. And as far as I know, that is not canceled. And there it is right there. The Lady Trojans are going to celebrate on the square at 4 p.m. this Wednesday. The mayor and all the parents and the Trojans will be out there. We invite everybody to come out at 4 o'clock on the square, downtown Troy, to celebrate the 5A state championship for the Charles Henderson girls. And it'll also be live on Troy Cable, Channel 2, which will be simultaneous Facebook and YouTube as well. So you can always count on Troy Cable to make that happen. And have you ever seen a small town like Troy have such a great live sports? I mean, Troy Cable just does an incredible job with that.
It is amazing, and I think that has a lot to do with the fan support, and the fan support therefore pays into the resources. The new facility at Pike Lib and all of the all of the resources that go involved to quality basketball. I'm not saying that the coverage is all directly responsible for it, but it is hand in glove. It's all part of a great process that again starts with all the youth leagues, starts with the coverage that these young people get, and the positive reinforcement they get by being on television, by being broadcast. I think it's all part of a great, big, very successful process.
Yeah, Neil and I, we've traveled the state 5 billion times back and forth. And know a lot
state
of folks
vehicle.
in a state vehicle, but they remind us that Troy is so fortunate to have like their own TV network where two goofy guys like Neil and I can bring a product to them, and other cities can't. They don't have that avenue to do a sports talk show and talk about all the kids.
The high
and
school
stuff.
kids get their names called on TV. That's just huge for them.
No question, and for the families and stuff. And I would say it's not a lot of those other areas and towns Troy's size and even larger. It's not necessarily that they can't; it's that they won't. So I mean, you should get a lot of the credit for your commitment
Well, I
as well.
appreciate that, Barry.
Absolutely.
Hey, update. I'm getting texts left and right. The March 18th celebration is canceled. for the state championship for the girls. So
Oh my goodness.
I said earlier that I thought it was still on, and that's the power of instant communication. It is canceled. I don't know if it'll be rescheduled or not, but they on the square this Wednesday they will not celebrate the state championship for the Charles
daggone.
Henderson girls. So let's tell everybody who is paying the bills here, Wally, and take a quick break, and we'll come back and pick up where we left off. The Old Barn, Turner Mowing, Alabama Real Estate Connections, Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort, the Crease Agency, the Pig Cafe, Deep South Apparel, Severa, Ralph Baker, Hastings and Reeves, Crows of Brundage, All-Star Collision, Jones Medical Supply, Health Actions, the UPS Store, Hooks Barbecue, Marco's Pizza, Troy Eye Care, Preston Steakhouse, Stone Cold Heating and Cooling, Bill Jackson Chevy and Ford, Road Mart, Glow Boutique on the Square, Alabama Restoration, Town and Country Flooring, Tyler Transport, Extreme Athletics, Eddie Billings Dentistry and Laverne, Smith Manufacturing, Landscape Source, Birds Drugs, PS Fault Furniture and Enterprise, K Rose Fitness, the Matthews Law Firm, Troy Messenger, Trojan Auto Parts, Southern Scents and Sensations, Simply Southern Kitchen, Raymond's Barbershop, Flo's Restaurant, Green Hills Funeral Home, Wise Office Supply, Fat Man's Barbecue, Southern Grill and Patio, PC Plus, Outdoor Power Equipment, Premier Dodge Chrysler Ram and Jeep, Sandbuck Insurance, Julia's Restaurant, Mills 2 Restaurant, the Withington Insurance Group, Pike County Court Referral, Taylor Roofing and Construction, Ivy Creek Medical, Troy Pool Service, Floyd Auto and Tire Service of Brundage, Magnolia Gaming, McDaniel and Associates of Dothan, The Half Shell, Soundsations, Firehouse Subs, Mel's Master Salon, Sign Gypsies, Connecticut Bridge and Engineering, Max Credit Union. Barry, we started with 4 sponsors. 4. And we're up to 60.
It has mushroomed. They get a lot of value, I'm sure.
And I'm sure. And I just got a text from the mayor before we took our first break. Mayor says it is only postponed. There will be a celebration. Just haven't announced when and the time yet. We're up against our first break. We'll be right back. Enjoy these messages.
Wally, what are you doing out here at Smith Manufacturing Housing? Oh man, Neal, I'm tired of paying rent at these crummy old apartments around here, so I called Smith Manufacturing Housing. Look at this stuff, man. 566-3883. They got double wise, single wise, sheetrock housing. Come see Ashley at Smith Manufacturing. Wally's about to get him one. Man, what's that noise? What are you doing with that air conditioner heating unit? Neal, my air conditioner went out last night, and I'll tell you what, I watch YouTube, and I know how to do all this stuff now. Look, Wally, this could be really dangerous, man. You need to call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling, 268-0917. Licensed, insured, and bonded. You need to call Matt Johnson, Wally. Hey, Neal, what does this red thing do? Don't pull on the red wire. That could be dangerous, man. What'd you do? Don't pull on that red wire. Good gravy. Now you've done it. Oh, call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling. Hey, Neal, what's going on, brother? What are you doing with that wood?
Oh man, my neighbor's out of town, so I'm gonna fire me up a barbecue pit right here.
Wait. I don't think this is a barbecue pit.
Yeah, it is a barbecue pit. I'm hungry, man, so I'm gonna make some barbecue.
Haven't I told you? Call Hooks Barbecue, 808-8008 for all your barbecue needs. Go through the drive-thru, get you some ribs, get you some barbecue. What are you doing at James Farrell's house? This is not a barbecue.
I think it's a barbecue grill.
That is not a barbecue grill. All your catering needs when your family comes home, 808-8008 Hooks Barbecue. They'll handle all your barbecue needs.
Hey, Neal, man, I need some help, man. I watched Point Break last night with Patrick Swayze.
What happened? Here comes the lifeguard.
Same guys yesterday. You already wrecked my kayak and got an insurance.
Are you okay?
Man, I think I pulled
Pulled your leg
my
muscle?
leg muscle.
You're going to have to go to Health Action to get that worked out with physical therapy. Give them a call, 670-5435. Health Action's in front of Hooks Barbecue. Man, I hope you're okay.
I hope too.
Wally, what are you doing at Road Mart on 231 in Troy, man? What are you doing with that tire?
Oh, Neal, I'm gonna put some 25s on this bad boy.
Oh, Lord, 25?
Yeah.
They even make 25? Hey, they can do specialty rims at Road Mart here in Troy, Alabama. They also do brake work. They can change your oil, anything under the hood here at Road Mart on 231. And they can even give Wally some 25s for his rental. 566-3413, Road Mart on 231. Man, what are you doing with that pine straw down here in my Jap maple orchard?
Oh, Neal, man, I'm gonna have your Japanese maple orchard look like Augusta International, baby.
Man, if you want your yard to look like Augusta International, you need to call Blake Turner with Turner Mowing, 465-0600. The grass is starting to get green. Everything's starting to bud. My Jap maples are all blooming. Call Blake Turner with Turner Mowing, 465-0600.
Oh my God. Wally, what in the world are you doing, man?
Man, I'm here training for the Olympics.
The Olympics?
Yes.
Well, you're at the right spot out here at Extreme Athletics. They do gymnastics, tumbling, cheer, sports, all types of stuff. They got great trainers, good things. Hey, 770 Flip, give them a call. Hey, what y'all check Mr. Waller? Oh, Lord, you're okay. Give them a call, 770 Flip.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. It didn't work. Barry, what'd you do to it?
There we go.
Come on, Wally. You know that one.
Boy George, man.
Boy George.
Yes, sir.
More like Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi, that's
Yeah.
it.
Both of you are on. No, it was Bon Jovi.
That's Bon Jovi.
Yeah, Loverboy did that too, though. Bon Jovi covered it.
Yeah.
Loverboy did that.
Yeah.
I bet
Sure
now,
did.
Now Barry here, now he was on Jeopardy,
Jeopardy.
so he should know.
That is
That's
a true
right.
story. Everybody asked me if that was true. That is
Before we
true.
get to Facebook funny, how was that? Was that?
That was phenomenal.
Was it
That
Do you really
nerve-wracking?
have a
Nerve-
thing and you go?
No.
Do you go? The little
It looks like it looks like your click pen,
your click pin.
and it's connected down there, and you
Yeah.
click it, and as you click it, it locks everybody else out, and for 2 seconds, and you've got 2 seconds to say something before that comes
moves
back
on.
in. It was a blast. It was so much fun.
I applied for the show and failed everything except the date of birth. That,
It was great.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a lot of fun.
What? Is it on YouTube?
I don't know. I've got a copy of it on
You do?
VHS, which I don't have a VHS player anymore, but I do have
Got a
one. Yeah.
copy of it.
It's a big bookend right now.
Hey, we're going to move on to the Facebook funnies this week. Let's see what we got. If you ever visited the front porch, you're immune from the coronavirus.
yeah, that's.
Did you know the Canary Islands, there is not one canary? And on the Virgin Isles, same thing, no canary there either. LeBron Hall of Fame induction in 2028. A truck loaded with Vicks Vapor Rub overturned on the highway. Amazingly, there was no congestion for 8 hours.
Where do y'all come up with this stuff?
Oh,
Y'all
that's
need to
good
put me in
stuff,
charge
man.
of the
Facebook funnies.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get going, hey, there's our new sponsor right there.
Say it big with signs.
Sign Gypsies. They come put the signs in your yard. They do Ozark, Troy, and Enterprise. That's what they're marketing.
So if you put Wally is the greatest, they can put that.
They can put that in your yard. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. We're getting started back right here. We got Barry McKnight with us tonight. We're happy he's with us, but we're sad to report that as of right now, the Premier Dodge Chrysler Ram Jeep NCAA basketball pick'em bracket is not gonna happen. Now I know hundreds of you were ready to try to win that Yeti cooler, which Wally thought he was gonna win.
Well, hey, let me break in real quick. I did get a letter from our attorney the other day,
yeah.
and he said
Said
that
don't
because
try
it
to
was
win it.
no, he said because it was canceled that I win it by forfeit.
Oh my gosh. They want to win that. They also want to win that $25 Preston's gift card to get that big porterhouse steak
Oh, yeah.
at Preston's. But the NCAA, they have hinted at a reduced tournament bracket, maybe at a postponed date or something like that. We'll have to keep a watch on that. Barry, I know yours and John's sports line bracket contest also suspended, right?
Well, we actually, late today, you guys are the first one we break it. I'm the one that's in charge of running it online. We very likely will have something online tomorrow at sportsradio740.com. It's sort of a fantasy one where we have come up with somebody who will run whatever projections. You see on ESPN, you see at the bottom, so-and-so has a 78% chance. They'll run projections of each of the proposed games.
Well, I saw something where Davidson's already won the virtual.
Yep, they've
They
also...
beat Gonzaga in the championship.
Yep, they've had one where Dayton has done it. It's a bunch of different
Dayton,
things.
not Davidson.
But it's but we very likely will have it. It'll be our 25th, and it will not be legitimate, but it will have something that fans
Some
can
prizes.
talk about and some
have a good
prizes.
time and watch.
That's
Still
exactly
get the
right.
$500 coupon. to
That's
fly
exactly
anywhere
right, from the Montgomery Regional
Montgomery
Airport. That's
Regional
exactly right.
Airport. Exactly.
So breaking news right
Breaking-
here.
all right.
Yeah. That's right. And all because of the coronavirus. I mean,
It's
amazing.
I was telling you guys before we went on the air about my experience on Thursday. Remember Thursday morning,
All was normal.
Everything was normal. The SEC tournament was going to be played without fans, and that sounded surreal.
That was weird enough.
How weird is that? So Thursday morning, we get on the Troy baseball team bus, headed to Georgia Southern to play 3 games in Statesboro. And we were talking about that, and of course the bus has TVs in it. Of course, everybody's got their phone and on Twitter. And we started hearing about the cancellations in the Big Ten and in the ACC. Actually got the guys out there, and they were set to play, and they pulled them off. Florida State and Duke, and then the SEC made the announcement, and we're starting to think this is
Not good.
this is not good for us. And we made it all the way to Columbus, Georgia, and we got the phone call, and everybody ate lunch and turned around, and we came back, back about 2:30 in the afternoon. I was telling you, it's surreal, especially in my position. I'm a paid observer and chronicler of sports. I don't have anything, involved in it, just like you guys are.
Yeah.
We were commenters, we watch. But as we get on the bus Thursday morning, you think about some of the Troy baseball seniors, Drew Frederick and Dalton Sinkfield, and some of those guys who are excited about playing in their first Sun Belt Conference series and hope we do well and all that. And by the time the day ends, their college career is over with.
Yeah, they're looking for their first series, and then it's over.
It's the same thing with the Troy women's basketball team, and it's just who had as you mentioned, such a terrific year. And you're talking about everybody in the NCAA tournament. Brent Jones, our athletic director, he termed it to us in an email that it was the most pivotal, eventful day in the history of sports in America.
Wow, I mean that's just.
And I can't disagree with them at all.
Speaking about these seniors' season being over, Barry, I've been reading a lot of articles about the NCAA visiting scholarship extensions, giving an extra year, and then you got freshmen coming in. They're expecting scholarships.
Right.
There's scholarship numbers and allowances, and you being in that college scene and understanding all that stuff. How do you think that's going to revolve? Even with a postponed or reduced season, I mean, there's roster numbers that have to be met. There's scholarship numbers that have to be met.
Right.
How are they going to balance that?
That's a tough one. Now, I speak for you guys. We all are theoretically, we're for, the people, the spring sports student athletes who, and the postseason basketball student athletes. We're all for the theory of having them have extra eligibility, but in practice, it's difficult because, the NCAA has come back and they have said that all the spring sport athletes will have an extra year of eligibility. That's wonderful, and I think that's necessary. The big problem now is practically how are you going to pay for it all? There's a lot of schools that can do it. There's a lot of schools in Division I to which it's going to be a hardship, and like you said, if you let seniors come back and have another year, then you have incoming freshmen coming in. Then you have to lengthen your your rosters,
There's a
which
lot of
means
questions.
there's a bunch in there. And the biggest question now, everybody agrees that it needs to happen, but the big question, the big hardship, is how everybody's going to pay for it.
Pay for it, exactly.
So, and I don't have an answer. It's way above my pay grade. There's people a lot smarter than I am that are going to have to figure this out. It's the right thing to do, but practically speaking, it's going to be difficult.
It's going to be a nightmare there's going to be a lot of exception to the rules next fall.
And and then not just next fall. The year after that, some of those, some of those big roster numbers are not just immediately going to melt away. This is something that very likely is something that's going to be a logistical headache for a couple of 3 years.
Yeah, and it all goes back to this coronavirus. It's just causing a panic, man. Man, we're all just running around crazy. Hey, the president got on television this afternoon
That's right.
and had addressed the nation and said, calm down, you don't have to go and buy 5 of every product at the grocery store.
Right.
Save some for other people. And that's just common sense.
I went this morning and there was a shortage. Don't laugh when I tell you this, of cat food.
Cat food
There is a shortage of cat food
at the Walmart.
in Walmart. No joke.
Unbelievable.
Well, I've got an armadillo problem in my yard that I've got to deal with, and they told me to try to use cat food in my trap. I got a humane.
So you bought all the cat food?
I bought the
that
cheapest
you?
one they got. I found the cheapest one
man.
because I want to catch the armadillo unharmed, but I'm not going to break the bank and do
That
it. So.
I don't know
armadillo.
about y'all's wives, but Michelle hadn't been stocking up. we're as normal at the Armstrong house. Did Denise go and stock up on everything?
We're good. We're good on everything. She has been a stronghold of serenity about the whole thing.
That armadillo I've seen him at my house on my security camera. He just makes his rounds down there. I'm telling you.
Well, Denise says that she's come face to face with him before.
Oh no!
And that's when the battle was really joined. I've got one.
That's when you went for the cat food.
I've got one directive. Now that my
Get
seasons
the
are canceled,
armadillo.
that armadillo is mine. Yeah, that's my responsibility.
Oh man!
Well,
oh,
speaking
man.
of armadillos, we got to take another commercial break, so we'll be right back and we'll talk armadillos when we get back.
Oh, man.
Wally, what are you doing at the UPS store?
My printer is jammed, man. I got to do 2,000 copies for the Penske file.
Well, why even worry with that little bitty printer and print one at a time, man? You're gonna run out of ink. Look, UPS store does mass printing. They can print 2,000 or 3,000 copies, cheap, fast, and efficient. Isn't that right? Yes, sir. I mean, why even mess with it? Come to the UPS store on Brother Street. UPS store, all your printing needs.
Hey, Neal.
Yeah.
Hey, man, come here for a second.
Yeah. What is that?
Man,
A drone?
I just crashed my drone, man. Good.
Crashed
gracious.
up in the tree. Man, you should have got some insurance on that thing.
You think I can get some drone
Man,
insurance?
you call Mike Crease at the Crease Agency. They got over 20 types of policies: liability, collision, house insurance, home insurance, car insurance, boat insurance, jet ski insurance.
And drone
You
insurance.
might can get some drone insurance, man. As many times as you stuck that thing in that tree, you better get some insurance on that
I tell
thing.
you
Call
what.
Mike Crease, Wally.
24 types of insurance there, too, Neal. Call him, 334-566-8777.
Moving on up to the big time. What's going on, Monopoly man?
Oh, man, Neal, I have
You got money. You got money going everywhere.
I have bought up every bit of Troy, Alabama, but I'm missing a few spots right down here. Who can I call?
Man, you need to call Toby and Dina Adams at the Alabama Real Estate Connection. They'll let you finish buying all of Troy and Pike County. They're the best agents in town. They will work the hardest to get you the best deal. Give them a call, 566-4765. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Hey, they're dealing at the Alabama Real Estate Connection.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Man, I got a big party coming on tonight, man. I got girls coming
What?
everywhere. Hey,
What are you doing up here at Southern Grill and Patio, man, with all your girls?
getting a big green egg, man. Only place in Troy that's got them.
You having a big party, I heard you
Oh,
say?
yeah, got girls coming and
Well,
everything.
you need to get all this deck furniture. They got the big green eggs, the medium green eggs, the little green eggs, everything for a big party on a deck. They got the wood thing. Hey, you got pellet grills, gas grills, anything you need. Southern Grill and Patio on North 3 Notch in Troy, Alabama. Jason, how you doing, man?
Neal.
Wally, what are you doing at Jones Medical Supply?
I can't sleep at night, man. I had to come see Jason.
Well, if your sleep doctor said you needed a CPAP, you came to the right place. Jason Jones at Jones Medical Supply will fix you up. Does that thing fit right?
Yeah.
Good deal. This is like the Snuffleupagus. Give Jason Jones a call. Jones Medical Supply, 566-1002. Dang, Wally, it's going to take you forever to spray these weeds with that little jug right there.
Man, look at all these weeds in this yard, man. This is awful,
Man,
Neal.
kid, there's a better way to do this, man. Tommy Jocks will get that done for you. 799-1060. Watch this. Watch that. Watch that. Look at that. Beautiful. Boom. Gone. Call Tommy Jocks. 799-1069. Get those weeds out of here. Oh, yeah. There's insecticide in that spray, too. The ants will be gone.
Wally Special. Oh, that's ACDC. As soon as I heard the vocals.
I've often wondered when I've watched before, I'm thinking, probably in the commercial breaks is probably every bit as entertaining as the pro itself. And I was right. I have no doubt now. The scales have fallen from my eyes.
Yes. See, that's what needs to be filmed.
That's exactly right.
Oh man, Barry, has anybody asked you for any autographs since you had a cameo in one of our commercials at Pig Cafe?
No, that was an interesting thing because Denise and I, we like going to the Pig
We
a
tried to
lot
get
for
Denise to be
lunch.
in it.
Oh, I
She
knew
wouldn't.
she wasn't. She's not down with that kind of stuff at all. But we're walking in and I see Neal and Wally and hey fellas, how you doing? It's no surprise to see those guys at the Pig. And and all of a sudden they started doing the commercial, and I'm in the background, and of course I'm getting what I want. I'm
You worried about lunch?
I'm rolling with the flow, but I'm telling you, the cashier at the pig, that
she
lady
was
was
a
a
spot
star.
on,
I'll tell you
man.
what, I'm looking for her to be in some sort of big budget movie.
Yes,
She was good.
she didn't miss a beat.
She did a good job.
Yes, sir.
I had that big old piece of fried chicken. The guy behind me said, leave that one right there.
You didn't want that one.
Yeah, you want to get his eyes on that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
We're going back to the coronavirus, and Troy has suspended everything. Troy University, just as all the other colleges and all, and the administration of the university. Barry, tell us a little bit about how they've handled what's going on.
Well, it's been difficult because, again, it's unprecedented. There's nothing you can look back on for Brent Jones or Sandy Atkins or Dr. Hawkins or anybody. They can look back and say, well, how did we handle this in the past? Because this has never happened before. I will say this. The people at Troy who are making the decisions, they're not experts on the coronavirus or infectious diseases. They can only make decisions based upon the information that is being given to them from the people who know. And I want to point out that they have so far they've done what they've supposed to do. And it's not been easy, and it's not been crystal clear exactly how to do it. Do you want to risk overreacting? Do you want to risk not reacting enough? And I think they've done a good job. I will say this as well. I was on the bus on Thursday for 4 hours on our aborted trip to Georgia Southern, and I was really impressed with Mark Smart, the Troy baseball coach. We stopped and he addressed everybody. He's very honest, and he says, I don't know what all this means, but this is what we're going to have to do. And he let everybody off for lunch for an hour while he awaited information. We're sitting there in the parking lot across from the Publix in Columbus, Georgia. And when we came back, he told them exactly, what the next couple of hours are going to be like. And then when we got back to Troy, he had a meeting with the seniors. And the seniors have informed every decision that he's made. They haven't dictated things, but their input has been really good. I have been really impressed with the leadership from Troy so far early in this issue. And I have nothing but the deepest faith as this information and as this story continues to roll along, that they'll continue to exercise really good leadership.
Yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on it. I mean, there's no precedence at any university across the nation. It's uncharted waters.
And think about it. I was talking to my neighbor Brian yesterday, and I'm an avid baseball fan. I love baseball. And he said come Tuesday, because of the state regulations, they're going to have to lock up the baseball fields.
At the recreation.
At the recreation. And I told him, I said, I would never believe, and I'm 49, I would never believe in my years that you could not physically go play wiffle ball or go to the ballpark because it's locked up. Because you cannot have a contamination with groups out. It blows my mind.
I got you.
Part of it is also, the people, they cannot see a threat. They're thinking about.
My child needs practice.
Right, and I don't see anything. There's no natural disaster out there. There's not a hurricane. There's not a tornado or anything like that. So it makes it difficult for some people to just grasp how serious this could become very quickly.
Yeah. Well, speaking of baseball, we got some. We after several weeks of just downpours of rain and fields being muddy and games being canceled, we finally had a week where several baseball games were played. High school baseball games were played, and Wally, if you'll get us started,
I'll get
some
us
high
started.
school baseball action.
Ayrton swept a doubleheader over Dothan Saturday by scores of 7-1 and 4-2. In Ayrton's first win, Maddox Herring and Landon Tyler combined on a no-hitter. Herring went 6 1/3 innings, but had to come out because of a high pitch count. He struck out 10 and walked 7 and only allowed 1 run. Tyler got the final 2 outs to finish it. In Game 2, the Purple Cats scored 2 in the bottom of the 4th to break a 2-2 tie and made it hold up. Landon Thrash had 2 hits. Cumbie had a hit and RBI, and Jackson Blair had 2 RBIs for Ayrton.
I'm gonna tell you what, the Ayrton sports program is kicking butt.
They're kicking. They are.
Football, baseball, basketball. They got it rocking and rolling down there.
All right, and let's go on down the road to Enterprise. They beat Ramsey 9-4 earlier this week. Colin Marsh had 3 hits and RBI, and 5 players had 1 hit and an RBI as well. Noah Loy, Drew Williams, Hunter Summerall, Jack Williams, and Garrett Barefoot. Williams had a double, and Jackson Leesman had a triple for the Wildcats. Williams was the winning pitcher, striking out 10 in 5 innings. Austin Ackerman finished the last 2 innings, striking out 4 and did not allow a hit. And I tell you what, we got a commercial break and come back and I'll finish up stats. We'll see who is the Marco's Pizza Player of the Week.
Hey, man. Well, I'm up here at Bill Jackson. I'm about to break in this Raptor out here and go take it for a test drive, bro.
Hey, you want to break in? Why don't you just ask them for a test drive? They're nice. They're up here. Bill Jackson Ford, Bill Jackson Chevy. Hey, Bill Jackson got both sides of 231 covered, man. F-150s, Mustang GTs, Chevy Tahoes, Cadillacs, GMC trucks, you name it. Come to Bill Jackson Auto for all your auto needs.
Roughing the kicker. Roughing the kicker.
What kind of call is that? You can't see nothing.
Yeah,
I can't throw a football flag in a basketball game.
Yeah, I can.
You need to go get your eyes checked, like for real check.
Where at?
Troy Eye Care, 566-7172. Troy Eye Care on Highway 87. Don't be calling basketball unless you get your eyes checked. Blake, where's your dad?
Let me come outside, the house flooded.
The house flooded. Are you kidding me? What in the world? What in the world, Wally?
Man, 3 pipes busted, my house all flooded, man.
You have got to be kidding, man. Why didn't you call Rand Anderson at Alabama Restoration, 371-5591? You wouldn't be wearing goggles and snorkels and slinging water out the front door? Unbelievable. Alabama Restoration, no disaster is too big. 371-5591. Give them a call today.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Breaker 19, I see some smokies up here on 231.
Ollie, what are you doing up in that big rig at Tyler Transport?
Oh, baby, I'm driving for Tyler Transport, brother.
Wally, you got to have a special CDL license to drive these big rigs, man. Sure. I know, but if you do get your special CDL license, you need to go see them at Tyler Transport. Hey, they offer special benefits packages, competitive pay, you're home on the weekends, and also they got those new glide packages on those rides. Give them a call, 566-7474.
Here I come,
Get out
baby.
of there. Good gravy.
Well, hey there, Mr. Wally. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good. How'd you get in here?
I better not tell you.
They don't even open till 4.
Well, I'm waiting to hear Mr. Lenny Traver play, and I'm going to give him one of these bad boy steaks that they won an award for.
Best steak in the state. Also, best catfish awards a couple years in a row. Hey, my personal favorite is the fried shrimp and the cheese grits. Also, not mentioning the cheese biscuits that come out before the meal. You're going to love that.
I know.
And a little live music, like you said, Mr. Lenny Traver, you can't beat it down at the old barn in Goshen, Alabama. Come see them.
Come see us.
What happened to Rush?
That's right, Barry said he loved Rush.
Yeah, and then you went and changed.
This is all spur of the moment. I'm trying to figure this out. This is all.
You know who this is, Barry?
I thought we were locked
Yeah.
in. You were going to play Rush.
Man, that was a good group back in the day.
Barry, if we let the music play longer than 30 seconds, the Facebook patrol
I don't doubt it.
cuts our show
I
on
don't doubt it.
Facebook.
Okay. Going back to our stats again, Charles Henderson split with Rehoboth Friday night. They lost 10-2, but they came back and won the second game 3-2 in the win. Mario Davenport, bases loaded walk, scored Sanders to give the Trojans a 3-2 win and extra innings, which was a late game that night. Trojan pitchers Cardwell and Cole McCorder combined on a 2-hitter with 3 strikeouts. Cardwell, the starter, went 6 innings and gave up 2 hits and 2 runs while striking out 1. McCorder, who pitched up the win in relief, pitched 2 scoreless and hitless innings with 2 strikeouts. Offensively, Jalen Deveridge had 2 hits and RBI to lead Charles Henderson.
And I think Charles Henderson was just hitting their stride.
I know
They're starting
they
to get
are.
it together.
And I'm going to turn it over to Barry. He's going to talk a little bit about Carroll Ozark. So,
Carroll of Ozark beats Greenville 11-8 this week in an area showdown. Jackson Kelly was the star for the Eagles. He went 4 for 5 with a home run and a triple. Nate Ward pitched all 7 innings for Carroll, gave up 9 hits and 8 runs, just 4 earned. with 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 5 hit batters. Jason Reese had 2 hits, including an RBI single in the first inning that gave Carroll the initial lead at 6-0. Pike Liberal beat Escambia 5-0, and then Macon East 6-1. The Patriots got a 4-hit shutout from Drew Nelson in the win over Escambia Academy, and then Levi Sykes threw a 3-hitter against Macon East on Friday at the Macon East tournament. In addition, against Escambia, Pike got all of its runs in a 5-run 4th inning. Press Jeffcoat reached on a 2-out error that brought home the game's first 2 runs. Austin Spivey singled home Jeffcoat. Spivey and Javon Christian then pulled a double steal that plated Christian for a 4-0 lead. Nelson followed with a single to center that scored courtesy of Jacob Spivey. Davis Allen also had 2 hits for the Patriots. Nelson allowed 4 hits, didn't walk a batter, and struck out 8. He needed just 77 pitches to complete his 7-inning game.
That's getting it done.
Whoa.
Against Macon East, a 4-run 5th by Pike Lib broke a tense 1-1 tie. Allen had 2 hits, including a double, drove in a run. Sykes also had 2 hits and drove in a run. Skylar Kidd also had 2 hits for the Patriots. On the mound, Sykes finished with 10 strikeouts, 1 walk in 6 innings. Wow. Pike Liberal went on to win the Macon East tournament. That's the 3rd time in the last 4 years that they've been crowned tournament champions at the Macon East annual event.
10 strikeouts for Levi Sykes, Wally.
I think here.
10
pizza.
strikeouts.
I smell pizza, fellas.
I do.
I'm going to tell you what, that stat line is pizza worthy right there.
There you go.
10 strikeouts for Levi Sykes. Levi Sykes of the Pike Liberal Patriots, you are our Marco's Pizza Player of the Week. You win a large 1-topping pizza. Hey, give them a call. You got to go get it. That's the only drawback. They won't deliver the free one. Go get it. Call them. Tell them you're the Sports Chat with Neal and Wally Player of the Week, and enjoy your large 1-topping pizza. Levi strikes with 10 strikeouts. That's impressive. Also, guys, in the high school baseball action, Goshen swept Pleasant Home this past week, 7-4 and 15-7. In Game 1, McGuire Stanley had 2 hits, 1 a double, and drove in a run, while Carson Williams went 2 for 2, and Jeffrey Warwick had a single with 2 RBIs for Goshen. And Danny Cooper added a double. In the second game, Cam Baker drove in 7 runs off a 3-run double, a 2-run double, and a 2-run single to lead the Eagles. Also for Goshen, Danny Cooper was 3 for 4 with a solo homer. Jeffrey Warwick was 2 for 5 with a double and 2 RBI, and Caleb Gamble had an RBI single. Earlier in the week, Goshen also beat Elba 6-1. McGuire Stanley had a 2-run homer in that game. Bryce Williams didn't allow a hit in 6 innings, and he struck out 5. Danny Cooper also doubled in that game. Wally, some other scores around the area.
Yes, sir. Hoover 12, Enterprise 3, Cottonwood 18-15, and 1-0 over Daleville. Hoover 11, Enterprise 7, Wicksburg 7, GW Long 3, Ayrton 13 and 3, and also 15-0 over Abbeville. Op 4, Houston Academy 2, Pike Liberal Arts 4, Hooper Academy 3, Providence Christian 8, Enterprise 7, Luverne 4, Ayrton 3, Dothan 9, Geneva County 3, Headland 10, and Houston Academy 0.
Also Providence Christian 8, St. Paul's 5, Headland 12, Ashford 1, Wicksburg 13, Geneva 7, Headland 11, Ashford nothing, Op 18, McKenzie 1, Macon East 12, Abbeville Christian 0, Lakeside 7, Pike Lib 5. That was Pike Lib's only loss of the year. Lakeside 7, Pike Lib 5. Houston Academy 15, Dale County 4, Ayrton 4, Providence Christian 3, Enterprise 4, Geneva 2, Slocum 10, Abbeville 3. We need to get our last break of the night before we go on to
We'll
softball.
get it, and we'll let Barry bring it back and tell us a little bit about some softball scores.
Oh, yeah. Two more baseball scores right quick. Beauregard 11, Eufaula 9, Andalusia 3, Op 0. This is our last break of the night. We'll be right back and finish up some more softball. Hey, what's going on today?
Mr. Mill, do you know this guy? He comes here every day for breakfast and lunch.
This guy over here?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I do know him.
Man, look at the size of this chicken right here, man.
Oh, my God. Wally, how many days in a row have you eaten here?
Every day, bro.
Come out to the Pig Cafe Monday through Friday, breakfast and lunch. The biggest cat head biscuits for breakfast and the crispiest fried chicken for lunch. Come out to the Pig Cafe. Hey, what are you doing in the surgery room at Southern Animal Hospital Pet Resort?
I'm about to circumcise this dog.
Man, don't circumcise that dog. Let Dr. Steve Barron help you with the spaying and neuter process. Give him a call. Southern Animal Pet Hospital Resort, 770-1838. You got to be a medical professional and board certified to perform these kind of dog procedures on surgery. Give him a call. Southern Animal Pet Hospital Resort. Hey.
Mr. Neal, is this the crazy guy that does the sports show with you?
Yes, it is. Wally, what are you doing up here at Globe? How long has he been up here?
He's been up here for like an hour, and he hasn't moved and he's scaring off the customers.
Wally, I know you said you were going to Globe to get Holly a birthday present, but you're taking this a little bit to extremes, don't you think? Acting like a mannequin? We're going to have to call the law. Come to Globe for all your needs up on the square. Globe Boutique.
Hey, Neal, how are you today?
I'm good. I want some of these chicken nuggets. Well, I want them down here at Crows and Brundage. Wally, what are you doing in the kitchen at Crows and Brundage?
Oh man, I'm trying to steal the secret sauce recipe.
And they're not going to give you the secret sauce recipe. Put that sauce back. Patsy, now he's got the sauce. Unbelievable. Come see them at Crows and Brundage. Hey, they got fried okra, catfish on Friday nights, wings, honey barbecue wings, any kind of wings, and the best chicken nuggets in the world. Come see them. Crows and Brundage. Thank you.
Man, what in the world? You just ain't T-bone me right here. What the hell? You playing with fidget spinner? Wally, did you have a wreck?
Mr. Wally?
Man, this girl right here is playing with this fidget spinner, texting on the phone to T-bone me right here in the parking lot. I was about to go pay my speeding ticket.
Right here at the police station?
Yeah.
Well, luckily at the police station, we can just call All-Star Collision 808-8822. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. Can I have the fidget spinner back?
Yeah, you can have
Please,
this
Mr. Wally.
All
Thank
she's
you.
worried about is a fidget spinner. Call All-Star Collision for all your accidents. 808-8822.
You gained donuts?
I gotta pay for my gas. Wally, what are you doing at the gas station?
Oh, gas station? What are you talking about? I'm going into Preston's, man. Right across the street from Walmart, inside of Flash Mart. Man, it's the best steaks in Troy, Alabama.
I heard it was the best steak.
Y'all come on in.
All
All right,
right,
man.
it's time for lunch.
Come to lunch, Preston.
Wally, what you got there?
Hey, man, I'm fishing for sharks, dude. Cave holding wigglers? Oh, heck yeah, man. When you wear deep south apparel, you look good, you feel good, you can fish good.
Well, I got on deep south.
What you got? I got a big shark. Could be Charles's cousin. With a cave hole.
Call Pete Van Horn, Deep South Apparel. Look for him on Facebook. Deep South Apparel. You might catch a shark. Wait a minute. Break it. It broke. The shark broke the hook. We're going to get him next time.
There's some rush right there.
Get my bobblehead right.
Finally got some rush on. High school basketball. First of all, let's start out with a huge shout out to Neara Tootie Jones as she played really well in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game this past week. The Alabama girls All-Stars beat the Mississippi girls All-Stars 70-63, and Charles Henderson's Neara Jones had 14 points in the victory. So real good right there, and she's moving on to Belmont to play her college basketball. Well, also, Wally, we need to recognize our local all-state selections, In the AISA division, Shelby Renfro of Pike Liberal and Kaylee Ackerman of Fortdale were honored with All-State. In the Alabama High School Athletic Association, 1A, Gabby Perkins from Brantley and Nina Williams from Elba were honored. In 2A, Carolyn Striplin from Geneva County and Zakiria Johnson from Ayrton and Mary Beth Long from GW Long. You reckon she's kin to the school owner?
Could be.
Could be right there. We're honored in 5A. Neara Tootie Jones and Samara Moore were both from Charles Henderson were honored, and accolades to those ladies for being all state. And we do have a little bit of high school football action before we get to the draft stuff, Wally. You got something you want to say about?
I will after that. I got some
Okay.
breaking news.
This is we got some coaching changes going on in the high school football ranks. Carroll of Ozark has hired Patrick Plott as their new head coach. He comes from Auburn High School, and when he was at Auburn High School, he was the defensive coordinator of the year in the Alabama High School Athletic Association. And I know he was at Greenville for a short stint too as a head coach. But I know Carroll of Ozark is glad to have their new coach and off and running. And secondly, Scott Riles has opted to leave Laverne and take the head job at Baldwin County High School. You know, we did a game at Baldwin County High School this year. And we'll keep an eye on that Laverne opening and keep you updated as we try to figure out who's going to get the Laverne job. And I know we'll still be seeing Coach Riles around because his son Reed was granted an extra year of eligibility, and he's a transfer from Southern Miss, and he'll get another year as the Trojans. So we'll be seeing Coach Riles on Saturday here in town.
Gotcha.
Wally, what was you going to add?
I meant to tell you, and David, our producer, will get a kick out of this because he loves showing us pictures. But I actually went and I didn't audition, but I'm trying to get stuff to be in the they got a curling league up there. They were showing there's a actual curling league, and they told me he does not have my curling picture. But there's a curling league.
We're going to get you some curling. You know how many times on the show he brought up curling? We got.
Have you know what I'm talking about, Barry, the curling?
I've seen on Facebook the guy's got his Roomba and a Swiffer, and he's
There's a huge league up there in Huntsville.
Yeah.
And I asked to join, and I had to try out.
Have to try out.
Try out.
Where is this?
It's in Huntsville. It's where the Huntsville play their
They got recreation league.
Yeah, they got a
We'll have to ask Daniel about it.
Well, hopefully he won't ask his wife for a reference because he ain't never swept in his life.
Oh man.
Okay.
That's good.
All right.
Oh,
The draft, the mock draft.
Okay.
We got to talk the mock draft.
We do, man. Also, before we get to the draft, the NFL, the players passed a collective bargaining agreement that will extend the regular season from 16 games to 17 games. So they're adding a game to the regular season. And also, they expanded the playoffs, where one more team from each division will make the playoffs, and that guarantees that the top seed will both get a bye in both divisions right there. And
Will that be another wild card?
I don't know if they'll keep the name wild card. Maybe there'll be two wild cards now.
There will be an extra wild card.
Yeah.
The real story out of that, I think, is that 500 of the players in the NFL Players Association didn't vote at all.
How did they they just didn't get it in time?
I don't
weren't
think
available
that
to
they
vote?
cared that much.
Oh, okay.
You know, which is odd. I mean, 500 of them didn't exercise their right to determine, what their benefits would be.
And another thing, the decriminalization of marijuana continues across the country, as in this agreement that was passed. If an NFL player fails a drug test now and it's positive for marijuana, the league cannot suspend them from games.
Wow.
I mean,
They can fine them.
Yeah, they can do other things.
But
They
they're
can
not
make them
gonna
go
miss
to
any game
treatment,
time.
and everything. All this kind of, maybe up their drug testing or whatever, but they can't suspend them. So the decriminalization of marijuana continues, and I've told this several times on the show. I work in the court sector, and it won't be long before a possession of marijuana is nothing but a citation, just like a speeding ticket.
Right.
And it's coming. It's coming. Wally, you interested in the mock draft over there?
Yes, I'm very interested in the mock draft because, again, all my buddies, I'm telling you, I do not think Tua is going to be
He has
drafted.
been cleared to throw.
Barry, we argue about this. I just cannot understand a business sense. You're going to pay a kid $10 million that you have not seen run, throw, and move back and
They
forth.
got film on it.
Somebody will. Somebody will do it. Somebody will take that. I don't think he throws because I think he's pretty much guaranteed a top 5 pick. I don't think, and it's all about situations. What situation he ends up in. I think a Miami situation will be good for him, but I don't think that throwing will get him above number 5 in the draft. So why do it?
Yeah.
But I understand your point.
But do you think Burrow still goes first round, though? I mean,
Yes, and that's not a good situation. He'll go first round to Cincinnati, and
That's
they
where
will
quarterbacks go to
they
die.
will grind him down. I promise you. That is not a good spot for him.
Well, you think he'll switch over kind of like Eli
Eli
did?
Manning did, yeah.
I want that
Like
now.
John Elway did
Yeah,
back
that's
in the
right. John
day. He
Elway
got
did.
drafted by
He
the
did,
Colts, and he
out of
told them
Stanford.
from the get-go that he was not going to play for
Are
the
you
Colts.
kidding?
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
I think that happens with Burrow. He
Do you
has
really?
that kind of leverage, yeah.
Gotcha.
Not everybody can do it, but
Gotcha.
Burrow has the leverage to do it.
Yeah, and they're predicting Chase Young, the defensive end out of Ohio State, to go to the Redskins, second pick, and Jeff Okudah, the defensive back, Ohio State, and then the top Alabama Crimson Tide draft pick is projected to be an offensive lineman.
Jedrick Wills to the
Jedrick
Giants.
Wills to the Giants.
That's one thing. That if there's anything in the NFL as valuable or close to as valuable as a quarterback, it's not a running back. It's an offensive tackle.
lineman. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm like you, Barry. I think Tua to Miami is probably the good thing right there.
I mean,
and like Wally, they're going to pay him. They're going to pay him. I mean, his legacy at Alabama and the statistics and the records that he put up at Alabama stand for themselves.
And the the tickets he can sell in Miami. I mean, realistically, I mean, he's not going to go to the Patriots or he's not going to go to the Chiefs or something like that. So realistically, I think Miami's probably the best spot he could hope to end up.
And his brother is going to be in that transfer portal straight down there. You wait to see.
Is he going to the Hurricanes?
I think he
All right,
is.
we're down to 30 seconds here. Speaking of the Patriots, I saw where the Titans gave Tannehill a huge contract. So Tom Brady going to the Titans is off the table, David. Before we get off, we're running short, about 15 seconds. I want to wish our producer, David Doty, a big happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
35 years old, getting married here shortly. Everything's going up in roses for David. We appreciate y'all checking in. Barry, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks, Barry, man.
And y'all keep it cool. We'll see you next week.